Hey guys, this is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC, and I'm joined once again this week by Tommy.
Hello.
And Mike.
I'm Mike. Dear God, it's still 2020, but we're past the halfway point.
We're in July.
So at least we got that going for us.
You know, and it's not just all the shit going on in the real world, it's stuff in the wrestling world because so much happened this past week. We'll get to that. There's a lot.
Ladies and
go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, the word of the day is betrayal.
Betrayal, yes.
The very close number 2 is entanglement.
Brought to you by the number 2, as in 2 championships that Evil now holds in New Japan.
Betrayal.
And 2 championships that Keith Lee holds in NXT. So congrats.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
Did they ever come up with a fancy rhyme like, you know, Bailey tuba, Bailey dough straps?
No.
Sasha had one, I think. We need one for Lee, but his name doesn't rhyme as easily.
No, it doesn't. Someone's got to come up with that. Someone's got to come up with that. If you have an idea for that, you can tweet them at us, CCG_WrestleCast, or comment here and subscribe to the Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel. Today, loaded show. We're going to quickly recap AEW Fyter Fest Night 2, and we're going to preview possibly some of the more, well, at least one of them is going to be the most important pay-per-view of the summer, Impact Slammiversary, and WWE's The Horror Show at ExtremeRules, unless they add more names to it. Good God, why?
Which one's the important one?
Slammiversary, I would say. Very funny.
I see what you did there, because we all know which one really is.
Yeah,
I know the horror show.
Yeah, well, horror shows. We can also, well, when we get to it, we'll talk about it. It's basically a cinematic match night. That's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah, also, real quick, according to the Cultaholic podcast, the guys out of England, when they hear Americans say the horror show, they hear another word a lot. And so they were confused. They mentioned this on their podcast last Friday. I just thought it was funny.
Maybe in the Attitude Era that they might be correct, but no, not today.
Well,
so, you know, I mean, yeah. All right, so AEW Fyter Fest. I'll come out and say it. Night 1, I think, was better than Night 2, and I think the only reason Night 2 suffered a bit, and it's not to say it was bad, it was just that Moxley and Cage had to get postponed a week, so we're going to see that this coming Wednesday. But
okay.
Some surprises, out of it. I mean, the Archer thing, we knew it was going to be quick, or it was going to be a fairly easy win, I think, over Janela. Janela really didn't get to do a whole lot in that match. Nyla Rose thought we were going to be a surprise opponent. It ended up being 2 jobbers who haven't won a match at all. I was a bit surprised by the Cabana and Dark Order getting a win over SCU, especially considering hyping up how Colt Cabana had this huge bruise on the side that they showed prior to that match. I was just like, oh, good God.
Well, they let him they let him to get the pin though.
Yeah, which for Colt Cabana's sake, he hasn't lost an AEW yet, which they made a point to say.
Well, no, he has. He lost to Jericho.
He did lose to Jericho. Okay, why do they say that he hasn't? I don't know.
No, in fact, this was why he was being recruited by the Dark Order. Not that he hasn't lost.
No, he hasn't won.
Yeah, he was having trouble winning.
Okay, maybe I heard it wrong on the commentary, so my bad.
Yeah.
So, not to get too much into like speculation and rumor, but there have been a lot of people that have said that the Brody Lee character, or the Exalted One, is just a continuous rib on the Mr. McMahon and all his little, eccentricities. Some people are saying that the thing with Cabana was a shot at Punk from the Rumble.
Oh.
The thing on his back from the last. I don't know. That's what people are saying. I don't know if he really was injured.
Give him a Z-Pack and send him out there. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's what I was reading. I was like,
oh, my God.
I don't know. It'd be funny because they're not apparently friends anymore. So,
yeah. I don't know if there's any. I mean, obviously, they had some issues with the whole lawsuit, stuff like that. And who knows? I would hope they rekindle that, but you never know. But
I mean, from everything I've read, they don't talk anymore.
yeah,
so.
That would be very interesting, though, if that's true. If this is the whole point of this, is let's make fun of everything Vince McMahon has done wrong, and make him into a.
If that's the case, and they've got like decades worth of story.
That's smart. Then, yeah, they can just parody
Brody
it
Lee's
years.
like, I'm set for life.
Yeah, so you'll never run out of material. Butcher Blade and the Lucha Bros being the Young Bucks and FTR.
That's a great match.
That was really good.
I know I picked it, but I'm surprised Omega and Adam Page retained.
I was surprised they went both nights of Fyter Fest holding on to the belts. Same.
Yeah. Now, real quickly, Taz. It wasn't the scathing promo we got on night one, but how cool was it to see the FTW Championship back on TV?
I was thrilled. I was like, cool. Yes. So here's what's funny. I read that everyone's wondering how can Taz still have that. Apparently, ECW never owned that.
Yeah, it was his belt.
I always heard it was his, right?
Yeah, it was his, right? He had it made.
Apparently he owned the belt itself and owned the rights to that. All that was his. So WWE couldn't own it because ECW never did. And I was like, that's cool.
And did he bring it out in kind of a similar situation where, was it Douglas was the ECW champ and injured?
He brought it out because he was trying to get a match with Shane Douglas. Yeah. Shane Douglas was, I think, injured at the time and wouldn't face it. So he made that to try to make it.
Okay, that's what I thought I'd heard about. Yeah. So
did you ever see? Okay, so one time they unified the belts. Because Sabu had the FTW title and Taz had the world title. Did you see how Sabu won the FTW belt?
No.
Dropping on his neck, I assume?
No. He choked out Sabu, but then pulled Sabu on top of him, made the referee count to 3, and that's how Sabu won the FTW title.
Wait, Taz let him win it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he choked out Sabu with the Taz mission and then laid on the ground and pulled Sabu's unconscious body on top of him and told the referee to count. So that's how he lost the FTW belt.
And that smells like some finger poke of doom.
They had a full match beforehand. He just
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
It was ECW.
Yeah.
But considering half the stuff WCW was doing at the time, that weirdness I'll allow. So
yeah. Cat's trying to jump in wires there. Any other major things that happened that night that you guys I don't know that stuck out for you guys?
I mean, the main event was good. Orange Cassidy pulled off some things that he kind of set up with his character up to that point because he did the thing where he did the kicks on the leg, but this time he actually hit him with a actual super kick and not the little tap to the
like he did that as kind of like to just to me it's like he does that to piss people off. That way he draws them in, and it worked that time. And it was great.
I was going to say and he had a great match. He was a lot more aggressive, but still did some of his usual things. I had a feeling like I said that Jericho would win, but Cassidy looks like the underdog fighting with all he has, and that's pretty much where they put it out.
He looked like $1 million coming out of it though.
Yeah.
Win or loss, he looked like $1 million coming out of that match. One thing I liked that happened afterwards was I think it was Ricky Morton from the Rock and Roll Express. He tweeted out how much he loved what he was watching at AEW, primarily from the tag teams, of course. But
the tag team match he was real high.
Yeah, he said he's loving the tag team and like how tag team wrestling is still pretty strong. So come on, praise from the Rock and Roll Express about your tag team matches.
I mean,
you can't do better than that.
They're arguably like the top tag team division in all of wrestling right now.
Absolutely.
I think I think right now, it's pretty clear that, that 8-man tag alone had 4 great teams.
Yeah.
There's teams they put together and they just work. Butcher and the Blade, they're part of the group, but you have the Nightmare. You have Dustin Rhodes and Cutie Marshall. You have the best friends from last week. It's pretty solid all the way around.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good roster, and Cassidy, like you said, looked good. And maybe they rematch this by the end of the year, sometime early next year. It might be a different result. We'll see. So,
We'll see.
It's definitely set up for down the line for him to get it back, so that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Pick results on night 2. Tina went 3-2. I also went 3-2. Tommy 4-1, and Mike 5-0.
I don't know.
I hereby retire from picking ever.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Good stuff, man. So, real quickly, if we want to combine both nights of Fyter Fest,
No, let's not do that.
Tina went 7-3. I went 5-5. Hey, how about that? Tommy went 7-3, and Mike went 7-3. Hey, what do you know?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Much better second night.
Yeah, I did shit. All right. We won't need to rate it. I mean, it was like a free show, but I think the biggest match coming up here with Fight for the Fallen is Moxley versus Brian Cage, obviously.
Yeah.
Should still happen as far as we know. Real quickly, does anybody think Cage takes the win here?
He's got a solid chance, if anyone.
I don't. I mean, considering they brought in, they brought in Cobb, they brought in the other guy, they brought in Brody Lee, faced him, and I mean, I know Cage is a monster, but it just seems like they're kind of feeding him to Moxley right now to let him build up. So I actually think Moxley's going to retain again.
I think, I would hate that it'd be like a clean win over Cage. Maybe I think it'll be some sort of like DQ, even though those are rare in AEW, but something tells me it's going to be some sort of no contest or something like that. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, this could be a first if they do it.
Yeah.
AEW's not afraid to put a loss on their monsters. They've done it to Murder Hawk. They did it to Wardlow. I mean, they were in big matches, but they gave him L's. So
yeah.
It's the fact that they give him L's, but then at the end of the day, it's like an L that people have to work for.
Definitely. They do it well.
Like when Cody beat him, it was like he took him like 3 crossroads to do it. He had to nearly kill Brody Lee to basically choke him out. And Wardlow, you took a moonsault from literal heaven. So basically, the only way to beat that guy was I'm going to throw my entire body weight from the size of a 2-story building and pray to God he stops moving after.
I mean, he may paradigm shift him from the cheap seats down to the, down to the ground, but
Just take him in the football stadium and do it there. Who knows, right? Yeah,
exactly.
It's right next door.
Well, Kevin Owens did a splash off the top of the logo at WrestleMania onto Seth Rollins, and Moxley is as crazy, if not more, than Owens is. So
yeah.
Okay, real quick, because that reminded me of something. There was a Reddit post I saw the other day that had the Cesaro Sami Zayn match from NXT. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Kind of at the beginning of NXT.
Yeah.
And it was labeled 2013. And I was like, was that really 2013? I was like, WrestleMania 36 seems like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, like you just mentioned that Owens thing, and that was like a couple months ago, but it seems like forever.
Someone said on the same line, someone said that the Tiger King era of the quarantine feels like years ago. And I said, oh my God, it really does.
I like that. Yeah. Like, I missed the Joe Exotica supplement payment, the stimulus check payment of the quarantine. I like that better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So much has happened, and it feels like this year's taken forever, and it really has. So,
yeah.
But as I said at the top of the show, Impact Slammiversary, I've read a couple of opinion articles where people are calling this really probably the most important pay-per-view of the summer, and there's a lot riding on this. Impact has teased a lot of returns, and let's just call it out there. They've teased Super Eric returning, Gallows and Anderson, Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis have made it.
Maybe not now, but for a while, they were doing Rusev. That obviously might not be possible now, but they were teasing it.
Does Heath Slater come back with Michael Elgin? Do they reform Team Canada? D'Lo Brown teased an Aces and Eights return. There's a lot of things they're doing that's kind of calling back to some of the things that they brought up under the TNA banner, even to the point where Moose, taking a page out of Taz's book, if you will, has kind of created his own TNA Unsanctioned World Championship. So they've built up a lot of hype on this. I will definitely give them credit for. And I think right now with everyone being at home, it's going to be worth the price of the pay-per-view. I mean, not no one can really have any watch parties, so it's going to be interesting how they set this up, how this goes well. They don't really run a pre-show, and how they work in all these supposed returns,
Man, if someone had the technology through an app or something where you could like go in like up to like 4 people on like a Zoom call, each pay $10 towards it or something, and all of y'all could watch it on the screen and do this. Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Like everyone could somehow chip in their part of it. Each of us gets to watch it and we get to chat with each other. Yeah. That would be really cool.
You know what you could do is if everyone like when it chips in, you can do a Zoom call still. It just shares the screen on the computer.
That's true.
Yeah, that way.
That's
probably a little more illegal at the moment, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and then there's other apps that kind of circumvent that are not so legal, but I mean, there's ways to do it. So
I meant a legit way, though, but I get
you. Obviously.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Now, as far as Slammiversary, the card itself, there are 6 matches on the card, and it's pretty loaded. All but one has a title on the line of some sort. So we'll start with the Knockouts Gauntlet for the gold. This is for a number 1 contendership for the Knockouts Championship. Let me count these wrestlers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 ladies are going to be a part of this match. And obviously, they haven't really set any order who's going to go first. I wonder if they're going to do the whole Royal Rumble thing, just draw a bingo ball. Who knows, right? But we're going to pick who we think is going to win it. Tina is going with Kylie Ray. It's funny when she was looking through this, she's reading the names, and she immediately crossed out Taya Valkyrie because she just hates Taya Valkyrie with a passion. And I'm actually going to second her. I'm going to go with Kylie Ray right now. With the way they've built this story up right now, I think it's going to come down to Kylie Ray or Susie, and I can see Kylie Ray just getting so much momentum right now, and I think she getting a shot at the winner of Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo would be awesome. So I'm going to go with Kylie Ray on that as my pick. So.
Crap, I was thinking the same thing.
So you go with Kylie also?
Yeah, because kind of the same reason. After I looked at the names, I was like, wait, who's in the knockout match?
Yeah.
And I think I'd go Kylie Ray too.
All right. Now, Tommy, are you sticking with Kylie Ray, or I know you see Rosemary's name on there? Is that who you're going to run with? So
yeah, I'm seeing Rosemary. I'm seeing Havoc. My ladies of evil, who I love so much. And what, man? Dark evil chicks. What can I tell you, dude? Nah, actually, I'm gonna go Kylie Ray too.
Okay.
Forgive me, Rosemary. Forgive me, Havoc.
Oh, they're gonna hunt you down when this quarantine's over, bro. So.
You think there's a chance Susie goes back to being evil?
I could see it happening. I don't know if it'll happen this night. They'll tease it.
Or like maybe shows up in both personas or something.
Maybe.
It would not be the first time.
She's been running tag teams with Kylie Ray as Susie. So if they plan to keep that going, probably not. But you never know. Depends how much Rosemary and Havoc get involved with that. And if they,
I just kind of like with what you said earlier. I feel like Impact's going to try to do everything it can to just make memorable moments. And, just as many surprises and twists that they can get in there. Yeah.
Do you think? I don't think Maria Kanellis would get involved with this, but do you think she would have a shot to return to be a part of this gauntlet somehow?
I mean, I wouldn't put it.
I would say it's impossible.
Yeah.
But maybe. But I feel just because I think her husband might be the surprise entrant, but we'll get to that in the end. So
they do the Undertaker from Saudi Arabia thing, and like she's the last person after everyone's been beat up.
Oh,
just add her in there.
Now
it wouldn't surprise me much.
An old school rules match, which, as I understand it, is really just a no DQ, anything goes kind of thing. Let this name on it.
One day we need to make a list of all the different wrestling names for. Basically, you can do whatever you want.
That's true. We should do that. No
street
holds
fight,
barred.
Street fight.
No DQ.
Chicago street fight.
Insert city name street fight. Extremes rule match. They're just all the same thing.
Balls count anywhere.
Backyard brawl. That
technically a triple threat.
Yeah. Back lot brawl.
Yeah. But this is for the unsanctioned TNA World Heavyweight Championship match that is currently being held, in quotes, by Moose. Defending against Tommy Dreamer after Tommy Dreamer's hell of a promo a couple weeks back, as we noted on this show.
Did you see his follow up promo after that where he apologized?
No, I didn't. What did he say?
Oh my god, dude, it was so great. Because according
God,
to his lawyer, you have to watch it.
Okay, I'll have to go back and watch it.
It's the most backhanded series of apologies you'll ever hear ever. It's so good.
For the way you're describing it, it's like the apology that anybody who's had to issue an apology has wanted to really say. You know.
Yes.
So, yeah. Tina's picking Moose to retain. Tommy, Mike, what about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't think Dreamer necessarily has a deep connection to TNA.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'm. Well, I wouldn't say Dreamer doesn't have a deep connection to TNA, but I'm going Moose because I feel like they're just setting him up for when he gets an actual world title shot, which I still think is going to happen soon because I think this is how this was originally supposed to end. The main event, whoever wins, Moose was going to be next in line, no matter who won that. You know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sticking with Moose as well. I mean, he created his own title. It would suck first time defending it if he lost it, right? So I'll say
It'd be
Moose
funny
retained.
though.
Yeah, it would be funny, but it's a way for Dreamer to put Moose over in this too. So
yeah.
I think the funny part is he's technically defended it, like he was going to give it to whoever beat him, but the announcers refused to say it was for the belt. So he was defending it, just not actually defending it.
It's not sanctioned defense, yeah. Impact Tag Team Championship, the North, who have held the title for over a year. I believe it's been over a year since Bash at the Brewery was in San Antonio where they won the titles. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And they're defending against Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan, who Tina has picked to dethrone them. I think she thinks Sami Callihan has got a shot to do this, and I don't know. Depends how Shamrock holds up, but that's who she's picking. So
I think I'm going to do that too, just because. I mean, I don't know if they have a lot of other tag teams going real strong right now, and again, with an event like this, I feel like they're going to try to pull things off. So you get to put a title on Ken Shamrock, you know, for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe with Sammy having to not be a part of was it OVE anymore?
Yeah.
You know, give him something to get him back into the higher echelon, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tommy, what about you?
Yeah, actually, I agree. I was thinking that too. That Sammy and Shamrock had a pretty solid shot because both of them are insane. So you know, if anyone could survive the North, it's the guy who has no sense, and of course, still dangerous even at his age, Ken Shamrock. You know, guy's like 200 years old, and I still wouldn't want to fight him.
I hear you.
I think this match is going to have one, possibly two additional entrants, and it's going to turn into either a triple threat or a fatal four-way. And one of those I think is going to be Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah, duh.
And I think they're going to come in, be a surprise entrant, and win the tag title. So I'm putting Gallows and Anderson as my pick. I think another possibility is a reunited Team Canada. But I think right now they've really been teasing Gallows and that Gallows and Anderson are going to be there. And with the way cases are going right now in the United States, I don't see any way they could get over to Japan for a good while, or Japan would even let them in. So
yeah,
I'm going with Gallows and Anderson as my pick to win the title here. So
are we allowed to pick people that don't?
No, that's where this one's interesting. You can make a pick based on who's listed, or who knows, like. The next one, the X Division Championship. You could have some surprise entrants in this one as well, based on who else is released. Willie Mack defending against Chris Bay. Tina's sticking with Willie Mack. If there's any surprise entrants, I wouldn't know who they would be.
I picked Chris Sabin.
Chris
to be a surprise entrance.
Hail
Sabin.
Well, I did hear a rumor that he was supposed to be going back sometime.
Oh.
Seriously? I was just trying to think of like the first X Division, but I was like, can't be AJ, can't be Christopher Daniels, can't be Samoa Joe,
Super Eric,
and then it was like Sabin.
Super Eric, can't be because
Super Eric wasn't. But I'm thinking X Division. Was Super Eric X Division as much?
Not really.
Not really. Yeah, he was more tag team and stuff, and
Elix Skipper. Elix Skipper's coming back to wrestling so he can get another cage match moment. So.
That's a good one. Now, in all seriousness, I'm gonna.
What? Honestly, though, he earned his retirement with that alone. So that guy doesn't have to do anything else in wrestling to ever prove himself.
He's immortalized at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's basically like the top highlight of TNA ever already.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Still, yeah.
Every top 10 list they do of their most holy shit moments, that's always number one, as it should be. I'm not even remotely mad.
All right, Mike, who are you going to go with on seriousness?
I actually think I'm going to stick with Willie Mack to retain.
All right. Tommy?
I'm going Chris Bay.
Okay.
I've actually been thinking about this for a while, and I just think how they are doing this whole feud with him. Because the X Division used to be always young upstarts winning that belt, like repeatedly.
Not wrong.
I mean, so because especially when remember when no one heard of AJ Styles, we were so young. Anyway, he was that young.
I had hair.
Yeah.
I didn't even remotely have a girlfriend. Sure as I didn't have a wife. So
I was single.
I was so single. Anyway,
yeah.
But no, how they're positioning him, it's like it's one of those things that could be a great feud for it. So I'm calling Chris Bay to win it, but I think it's one of those things where him and Willie Mack will still just fight each other over it repeatedly.
Yeah,
and I'm down with that. Works for me.
Yeah, I think this is a pay-per-view where they hit the proverbial reset button on the X Division, and Chris Bay is going to take the title, get it on a new upstart, someone to kind of carry that and breed in some young stars. They're going to get, as it seems, an influx of talent coming in from the WWE releases, and maybe somebody else out there that's looking for a job. And for them filming everything in Nashville right there, they're in one good centralized location. I could very easily see them running with building up a new talent. So,
not that it would be X Division, but has Impact teased Hawkins or Ryder, whatever? I guess Matt Cardona and.
Not yet. I mean, the teases haven't really shown them. I mean, the only obvious teases we've seen have been Super Eric, and they, obviously they're not showing.
Oh, actually, EC3 also, from what I've heard.
That's right, EC3, Aces and Eights. We got like 3 hands grabbing his champagne glasses. It's possible, but I mean, we're probably not going to know until that night. So because
I know they're looking to go somewhere, but
yeah, and this could be a good fit for them as well, unless they're going to AEW. We'll see. So.
Yeah.
Now, Knockouts Championship and Jordan Grace defending against Deonna Purrazzo, who obviously Deonna was also one of the part of the WWE releases, but since she was with NXT, hers was only a 30-day no-compete. So she's already been able to debut, build this up,
But they're all the same roster. They're all on the same level.
Yeah, all the same roster.
Yeah, bullshit, right?
Only during Survivor Series when it helps their storyline.
Jesus Christ, right? So,
or when their guys get kidnapped in Saudi Arabia. Whoops. Whoops.
Wow.
Whoops.
Sorry, I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, wow. Or when people are out with COVID, right? Jordan Grace, Tina is picking to retain. I'm also picking Jordan Grace to retain. I like what she's doing with the title. I like how she handles trolls on social media. Props to you, man, because you get a lot of them. You deal with them. It's great. It's next level the way you handle that shit.
Yeah,
so.
She has a whole book of inappropriate DMs she's gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. I kind of want to get that.
Yeah, and with all of us picking Kylie Ray to be the number 1 contender, I think it would be an interesting matchup with Jordan Grace against Kylie Ray, and a good shot they could turn Jordan Grace heel on this. Just she has the build of it if she could be that whole monster gimmick, but I'll give her a chance to show off some charisma that she does have. She hasn't shown it as much on TV, but if she pulls off a good heel gimmick, I think it's a good chance for her to do that. So,
yeah.
You guys sticking with Grace, or you think Purrazzo's going to make a big impact?
First of all, JC, I'm totally surprised that you didn't pick a surprise entrant, Gail Kim.
I wish.
What's wrong with you?
Gail's not leaving her home, man. Gail's not leaving. I'm
Taylor
being realistic.
Wilde.
Yeah, I'm being realistic here, but no, Gail's not leaving her house at this point. So, no.
I'm picking Taylor Wilde. No.
But she also teased to come back too. Taylor Wilde.
Oh, did they tease her?
She did.
Yeah, she said.
I hadn't heard that one.
Wow, I'm a nerd. I'm on Twitter way too much because I've heard
Impact's on Twitter a lot. I mean, they live on social media, So I mean, they've killed that. So
I'm actually going to go with Deonna Purrazzo to to kind of win it and kind of build off the hype of her coming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Tommy, what about you?
I'm actually going Jordan Grace. I just think that she's like kind of become like the standard bearer in her own way. So that's just how I feel. But
Charlotte Flair.
She hasn't won the belt that many times.
And finally, the Impact World Championship, currently held by Vacant, and he's not even getting a chance to defend his title. It's going to be contested between Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, Trey, and a fourth entrant to be determined. We're recording this on a Monday night. Obviously, Impact's going to air tomorrow, so I don't know any spoilers because they've been able to film this without fans. So I don't know if they're going to announce that fourth entrant tomorrow on Impact, or if it's going to be announced that night or surprise entrant. Who knows?
Can I pick TBD without an actual name? Like whoever it is they bring in, I pick TBD.
I guess we could do that, but if you had to pick who that fourth person would be, who would it be?
EC3.
EC3. Okay.
Either way, I'm picking whoever they bring in.
All right. Tommy, I think you mentioned how much you love Ace Austin. Do you think this is his time? Yes, you think so. All right.
If it had been the original 5-way like they had planned before, I would say no. But now, yeah, I am 100% convinced it's going to be Ace Austin. If I'm wrong, I will actually be surprised because I am actually convinced he's going to do it this time. And the reason I say that is because, like you said, with their reset button, I think they need a good heel as world champion, and no one is more irritating to everybody else than Ace Austin. But see, here's the thing. Everybody else, this is the one time where I love a heel that everyone else hates. It's like, I love this guy. It's like, he's so good. It's like everyone else everyone else I thought you can't stand Ace Austin. I'm like, why? He's great. It's rare that I love a heel this much, but dude, Ace Austin.
But would you let Ace Austin around your wife?
Hell no.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. I don't think any married man in his right mind would ever say yes to that.
To be fair, there are a lot of wrestlers, even the ones who I know are married, I wouldn't let around my wife, and that's just for a lot of reasons. So. I love Matthew Palmer. That's my dude. I know he's married to Ember Moon. He's not allowed around my wife. So,
I was about to say, we already did that episode a few ago. So.
Yeah, that's true. I think...
and for the record, he's not allowed around my mom either. So,
okay.
So.
That's funny.
This was originally conceived as a 5-way match, and it's knocked down to 4. I don't see why they couldn't add 2 surprise more entrants. We mentioned EC3. Yeah. I think that could be one. The other is possibly Mike Bennett. He wouldn't
deserve it, honestly.
Yeah.
Poor dude's been through so much.
But I'm actually gonna go with Mike EC3, who WWE just screwed it up. They didn't know how to use him, and they don't get it. They don't use person right. And EC3 arguably was probably the biggest draw Impact had post AJ Styles.
It's so sad.
Besides Matt Hardy, obviously. So
yeah, it's so sad how well NXT knows how to use people and WWE does not.
But have y'all followed his social media? Because he's not. Doesn't look like he's going to be keeping the rich EC3 persona. Like he's doing all these little promos on his social media, basically talking about recreating his character. He shaved his head. He's changing his character. It seems like
it's one way to get it over. I wouldn't.
I mean, for a guy like him with his talent, there's no reason no matter what he does, he can't get himself over. It's just to me, he's one of the guys who, when he doesn't get over, it's not his fault. It's bad booking. There are tons of guys who like. And the reason people, because whenever I say that kind of stuff, people are like saying, "Oh, well, that doesn't make any sense. The guy, no matter how good he is, he should be able to get over." My perfect comeback for that every time is AJ Styles' last days in TNA. No excuse for that whatsoever. None at all.
No.
So
he's been vocal about that stuff too. So yeah.
So if that's the end of the card, I do have a question though. I don't know if you're going to get to this.
What's up?
Do you think Aces and Eight shows up, and where does it get involved, or does it just show up to appear? Like, do you think it's going to get involved in a specific match?
I think if they show up, it's going to be after the main event, after we find out who the champion is.
and it's going to be Bully Ray leading the charge because he is no longer in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And why not have the president lead the return of Aces and Eights? Gallows and Anderson might make a big return. I think they could be a surprise.
I was thinking
part
about
of
them
Aces
being
and
a
Eights.
part of it.
Yeah,
exactly.
But they won't
You
do it till the
already
end.
got Doc.
Yeah. So
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Cool.
I could see that.
Similar thoughts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So and this time if you do it, fucking run with it right, man, because you had it set up after lockdown 2013. Do it right, God. Make it a great story. All eyes are on Impact right now for this. Everyone thought with this going on, promotions like them and Ring of Honor were pretty much dead in the water. No fans. It's things they rely on. How are they going to put together pay-per-view? They've built this up. They got basically a wealth of talent handed to them when they were all let go by WWE. Now you got to run with it. Now you got to build something great with it, and this is their chance to do it. And everyone's gonna be watching, and I think it's gonna be worth the $40, honestly. So it's been anticipated. So I'm really looking forward to it. And it's on a Saturday night too. Can't beat that. So
hey, Saturday night's all right for fighting.
Yep.
Finally work that joke in. Every time we do this, I forget to work that joke in, and I finally work it in, baby.
Nailed it.
That's fun.
All right. Now the horror show at WWE Extreme Rules, aka
okay, good night, everybody.
aka the night of cinematic matches, because I feel like at least 2 of them are going to be.
I don't. Is it bad to say I just
Maybe
don't care
3.
about this interview? Is it bad to say I just don't care about this one? Because I don't, man. I really don't.
I really don't, because it's like, okay, you could have done this at Halloween the way you titled it. Why are you doing it now? Like, it makes no sense.
Their titles in the quarantine are just ridiculous.
Let's go through it quickly. We really don't give a shit. There's 6 matches announced so far.
It's so sad how much we don't want to do this.
Okay, well, if there's any plus to these quarantine WWE pay-per-views, they're not exhaustingly long, So so far, and I hope this is the same way.
I think each of us should just take a turn and just yell out 6 names in order, and then Strowman, Seth, Apollo.
It's tempting.
It is tempting.
Wyatt Swamp Fight, a.k.a. Cinematic Match number 1. Tina's picking Strowman. I'm picking Strowman against Bray Wyatt. This isn't the Fiend. This is Bray Wyatt, so.
Yeah, I'm going Strowman.
We're all going Strowman, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, they're bringing Wyatt back as his old cult leader because I think Strowman's going to, defeat him, and then he'll have to fight the final boss Fiend, so...
Well, if you're gonna win the Triforce, you got to fight the Fiends. Eye for an eye match, which has, I think, the dumbest way to win. You literally have to pull an eye out. Obviously, this will be cinematic because if they do this shit in a ring,
what does that mean?
There's a small part of me that hopes this is so bad and dumb that it circles back around to ironically funny.
Okay, if they make this cinematic, please tell me they end up in an RV a la Kill Bill Volume 2 and you pull the eye thing like that, like the bride did at the Beatrix Kiddo. I was like, that'd be good.
That actually would be cool. Okay, you know what? I take it back. If they do that, that's awesome. Because that was a great scene in that movie.
Although go ahead. I was gonna say if this was Norman Smiley or Eric Young, I guarantee they're wearing a hockey mask over their face so nobody can get to their eyes. That's just that's just a thought. So
like last week, I still want more of a Temple of Doom theme, especially like I want people chanting, like.
Tina's actually going with Seth on this one.
Same.
You're going with Seth, okay? I think I am as well. I mean, gosh.
I mean, what are they going to turn Seth into the Messiah pirate? I mean, he's already got enough gimmicks.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Follow me. Yeah. He has to start doing the little Johnny Depp kind of drunk thing.
Keith Richards type thing. Yeah,
I went totally religious on that and thought of like Jesus preaching on a pirate ship.
You know?
I'm sorry.
That'd be a hell of a movie now that you think about it.
Well, you know what a pirate's favorite letter is?
R.
No, their first love is the sea. That's an
Oh.
HBO. That's a Spurs HEB commercial. Good night, everybody.
Tommy, are you going with Rollins to make it unanimous, I assume? Is that?
Whatever, Rollins, sure. I don't care.
He's like, yeah, sure.
I'm tearing up, man, for real.
Oh, this has been more entertaining than I thought it would be. All right, United States Championship. Apollo Crews, we can confirm his last name is spelled Crews. Sorry, it's not Cruz.
And that's still funny, too.
I disagree because whoever wins this match, there's that new group in NXT that's already set to face him. So.
Well, he's defending against MVP. Is anybody think MVP is going to take the title here?
No.
No, I'm going with Apollo.
Yeah.
You can't bring out a new belt and not even let him take it, like actually have it.
Exactly. So.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
So you say WWE doesn't bring us joy.
Well, when we're talking about it and then we're actually watching.
For all the wrong reasons.
Although if they're watching this and turn Rollins into the Monday Night Pirate Messiah, that'd be some good shit.
I take credit for that,
Yeah,
WWE. You don't you dare. I'm trademarking that.
Oh man. All right.
Pirate Messiah.
Probably the hardest.
Right here.
Probably the hardest match to pick on the card. Raw Women's Championship: Asuka versus Sasha Banks.
This is actually the hardest one to pick.
And Tina thinks Sasha is going to take the title here. She's been kind of running with the theory that all the gold is going to Sasha and Bayley. They're both going to be double champions. So that's her running with it. Mike, what about you?
I'm gonna go Asuka with her Bayley being at ringside and somehow kind of costing the match again, just to continue that whole thing. Could be wrong. I definitely see where Tina's going with that, and I wouldn't even be mad if they did, but I kind of think they're gonna lay those little things to keep screwing over Sasha with Bayley, being responsible. So
Okay.
yeah, we got all serious.
Yeah, for this one, I guess. I'm sticking with Sasha. Or not Sasha. I'm going with Asuka, not Sasha. I think for the same reason you mentioned, Mike. It's one of those things where Bayley's going to screw it up. Is she trying to keep Sasha down? They've kind of teased this for a good while, and a lot of heavy rumors that they're eventually going to work in them facing each other. So I'm going with Asuka to retain. Tommy, what about you?
Come on, dude. Really?
I know.
I'm gonna bet against Asuka. Really? Come on, dude. Did you not see the post I made like literally
Yes.
last night?
How awesome is that, by the way? So
yes, it's about to be my background. I actually made that myself. I found the biggest. So I was like, I finally have the people who I want as champion. I will hate the show if that screws that up for me.
Yeah, clearly wrestling is being a little. I don't know what that is, but there's some there. They're Joshiists, I think, definitely.
Yeah.
And I will take them at their Joshiist. I don't.
And
care.
you're like, okay. You're like, and I'm done.
This is them at their Joshiist. Give me their Joshiist. I don't give a damn. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, for those wondering what Tommy's talking about, it's the fact that Asuka is the Raw Women's Champion, Io Shirai is the NXT Women's Champion, and Hikaru Shida is the current AEW Women's Champion. 3 Joshi wrestlers at the top of their respective levels. And
yes.
All we're missing. Huh?
Tommy.
Yeah.
What's a former Japanese woman that was in Impact? Wasn't there no. There was one. What was her name?
She was in RCW once. I know
Hamada.
Hamada.
Yes.
I'm going to change my pick from Deano Peraza to Hamada to continue with this.
Okay. Let me tell you something. Wait. Let me tell you something right now.
God.
If Hamada shows up at Impact,
That'd be a shock.
I'm losing my mind and calling all of you immediately.
I would be very shocked if that happened. I mean,
I would be too.
it'd be
I don't
very
think it
difficult
will,
to
but
get
if that
people
happens,
overseas. Yeah. So
Clearly, Impact saw your post and they were like, "Wait a minute."
wait a minute, a Japanese woman worked for us too.
Yeah.
Finder.
SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley defending against Nikki Cross. Tina's got Bayley retaining. I got Bayley retaining. Does anybody think Bayley loses it here?
Realistically, no.
Realistically, no.
Yeah.
I wish, but no.
I would love to see the version of the story where it flips and Sasha accidentally costs Bayley the title. That could make things interesting. I don't think it'll happen. But
Like if Sasha wins her match and then she costs Bayley her title?
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
If they're in that order,
Yeah.
but I doubt it.
Okay.
Maybe I was just thinking. Yeah, Bayley.
And finally, the WWE Championship. We're recording this. We started recording this when Raw was still in the air. I don't know if they've announced the match type yet. My thought is if they make it some sort of weird gimmick match, this is going to be cinematic match number 3 of the night. And it's Drew McIntyre defending against Dolph Ziggler. I honestly, whatever they announce, I would be shocked if they took the title off McIntyre and put it on Ziggler, considering they've never trusted Ziggler with any sort of world title.
Of all the people, Ziggler. I mean, I had nothing against it, but
No,
they
I
would
wouldn't
do that
mind it.
now?
But yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
they're telling us it's called the horror show. What bigger horror could there be?
Well, maybe
Baron
Dolph
Corbin
Ziggler.
winning the world title would be the biggest horror of them all.
Oh dear God, JC, blasphemy!
This could be Vince McMahon's version of a horror show. Dolph Ziggler's world champion.
Maybe.
See?
I think McIntyre's going to hold it at least through SummerSlam, so I'm sticking with Drew McIntyre on this one. I assume you guys are as well, or does anybody else think Ziggler's got a shot?
Yeah, no, I'm sticking with you.
I want to say he holds it till fans get back, but I don't know when that is.
Or when that'll be, yeah, exactly. So who knows, right? And that is the Horror Show Extreme Rules. Hey, we got through it, guys. We're doing pretty good. So,
Oh, thank God.
hey, yeah.
It was funnier than I thought, only because Mike said the pirate thing. Oh man, that was funny as hell.
Oh my God, I really hope that eye for an eye match. At what point did these cinematic matches get so bad that they just stopped doing it? Because come on, man, there's
somewhere along the pirate thing. I think.
Have you met WWE?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure within the last year and a half they had a dog mascot come out and they poured dog food on Roman Reigns. So I don't really, I don't give him any credit.
Yeah. All right.
He's got a good point.
Yeah. That'll move us into our segment on the 1 minute warning. And if you know our show and you know Tommy, you know that all the shit that happened in New Japan over the last week, Tommy's got a lot to say about it.
Pull up a chair, guys. It's going to take a while.
So at this point, I'm going to give Tommy the floor. Mike and I are going to disappear for about an hour. I'm just kidding. No, you don't have an hour.
Don't tell him that.
No. If you want to talk for an hour about all this shit, do it on your own channel. But I'll give you... It is a 1 minute warning. Try and keep it under 2 because it's a lot more shit I have to edit and then rendering takes forever.
I'll keep it down. Keep it.
Just be clever. And if you want to hear the rest of this rant, go to my page on YouTube and follow me.
All right. So if you don't know, I will say this. There's a big shakeup when it comes to Naito and the world title picture.
And LIJ entirely.
Yeah, LIJ entirely. And the word of the day was, of course,
betrayal!
With that, Tommy, your 1 minute warning starts now.
Betrayal! Evil, how could you? We trusted you. What kind of world do we live in where we can't trust a guy named Evil? That's my question. If we can't trust a man named Evil, who can we trust? There's just no rules anymore. For those of you who don't know, Evil has betrayed LIJ and joined Bullet Club. And, of course, that meant he won IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental title because freaking Dick Togo showed up. First of all, I thought he retired because I hadn't seen him in so long. Secondly, it was a good swerve. I can't even lie. There was a picture, I don't know if you guys saw it, I don't know if I posted it, of a little girl crying because she had, like, Evil merchandise. When he joined Bullet Club, she was like crying in the stands. I was like, well, that's probably good for her psyche to come back to wrestling after this COVID stuff. And that's the first thing that happens to her. So But no, it was actually well done. I can't even lie. They did. I got into an argument with somebody about like why they would give Evil the belts because they claim he's a mid-card wrestler. I don't agree with that. But what I will say is they're kind of in a bind right now. Mm-hmm. They need some shock value, and thank God they're not doing a horror show. But I did like how they did this. It was shocking. No one saw it coming. And what this could set up in the future, who knows? So I'm looking forward to what can happen next. And I'm good. Boom. All right. Done. However, everything else I have to say, you can find on my channel. I'll be posting something this week.
For the Snyder cut of this rant, please go to...
It's funny. So WWE has Angry Ms. Girl and New Japan has Crying Evil Girl, basically, is what it is.
Yeah. Awesome. Dude, that picture was so heartbreaking, though. Yeah. That poor little girl, like her world just got ripped to something.
It's funny you mentioned that. It reminds me when Tina and I went to an LWA show in Laredo Wrestling Alliance. It was the first time we went, and I forget who it was, but there was this luchador guy that was very popular. I forget his name. And there was a whole family, like a woman and her 2 kids. They were probably like 3 or 5 or 6 years old. They were dressed in his merchandise. And a match was going on early in the night. Some guy got thrown out. It was a heel. And these little kids literally cussed at him, said F you, but they didn't say F. They, flipped the finger to him and stuff.
Whoa.
So they're wearing this guy's merch. He comes out later in the show and he turns heel with a promo, pulls his mask off with the help of Barbie Hayden.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
So they start crying, and Tina are looking at him just laughing, like, oh my God, you deserve it. Needless to say, the mom took her kids and left the show before the event was over because they were distraught. And so after the show, Tina and I told Barbie about it. Barbie was just dying. She thought it was so hilarious. So it was, oh man.
Hey,
you talk about kids crying. It was just funny to me. So,
Well, you kind of made me remember. I know you didn't go, but Tommy, did you ever go to ACW shows in Giddings?
I don't know if I went, but that sounds familiar.
I didn't, but I know what you're going to say, Mike, because you told me about this. Because Mike Knoxville told me about it too.
But just real quick, because in early ACW, I loved the shows, and Melinda and I took a trip overnight to Giddings to go to a show. A small little town in this little bar, but man, the kids there, because they were, it was ACW no ropes. They were running up, trying to hit the wrestlers while they were coming down.
Oh my God.
Like these kids had no control over them. They were letting them run wild. It was hilarious. Well, probably not for the wrestlers, but
no.
Yeah, they were just letting them do whatever. It was pretty funny.
I heard the chants were pretty vulgar that night too. So yeah.
Yeah, that too.
All right, Mike. Do you have a 1 minute warning this time?
I do, and it's actually kind of serious.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Serious. Ready, set, go.
Okay. So if you've never watched this show before, or if you have, you know that there are certain wrestlers that we kind of take little shots at. For me particularly, it's usually Stephanie McMahon, Charlotte Flair, Baron Corbin, people like that we just kind of get tired of. But let us always remind you that we're poking at the characters and the way they're written. We're not poking fun at the people. I don't want to go too in-depth into but Charlotte Flair went on Twitter the other day to explain the actual reasons she was out for her absence. And it had to do, again, with a slight issue with her implants. But she was also talking about people that just say the crappiest things to them, that talk all kinds of crap, and I just don't get it. Like, if you don't like someone, you don't like the character, that's fine, but these are real people. They're putting their lives on the line. Don't treat them like crap. I mean, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't tweet them. Like, your life's not better because of it. Just, treat them with respect, even if you don't like the character.
Well said. Yeah, especially right now with everything else that's going on. I mean, it's hard for people to separate character from reality sometimes, but yeah.
With that, there was someone who used a very vulgar word against Sonny Kiss because
I saw that. Yes,
against Cody. Now, I'm not the biggest Sonny Kiss fan. I don't think he's horrible. I'm just not a huge fan. But at the same time, when people do stuff like that, I was like, yeah, that makes me a fan of the guy because he doesn't deserve that. To me, his gimmick is what he does. At this point,
yeah.
look,
Yeah.
The funny part is, the funny part is, at this point, his gimmick is nothing I've never seen before. So it's like, okay, yeah, so dude's gay, he twerks. I literally saw Marty Cohn do that 15 years ago. I don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked early. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, when people use that kind of stuff against them, and use that kind of language, it's like, dude, that's offensive, that's hurtful, and it's uncalled for. You don't know this guy, and even if you did, you still shouldn't be using that word. And, and that makes me cheerful. I was like, yeah, Sonny Kiss, go with the title.
No, you're right. That's exactly what I was talking about. Like, the dude just straight up, and he was tweeting to like Cody. He wasn't even tweeting
like Cody,
to Sonny Kiss. He was just like, "What is that?" Getting the match. Yeah. But I was gonna say, one of the coolest things I thought that happened early in the AEW was Dustin Rhodes was teaming up with Sonny Kiss for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dustin Rhodes, who has the history of Goldust, who I know that was a character for him. Sonny Kiss is more, like you said, this is who he is. But I like how there's similarity to their characters, and he kind of helped them out early on when they're in AEW.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I like that too, because that with Dustin having been there, even though he's not, he could be by for all I know, but he's not, yeah, whatever. But he's like saying, here's how you deal with that criticism. I dealt with it all the time. Mm-hmm. So and that's also, of course, and again, this just goes to my point of Dustin Rhodes being one of the coolest guys in wrestling, along with Jericho and Chavo Guerrero, because apparently when wrestling needed three heroes who we thought would be the heroes weren't, and it was all of a sudden Jericho, Chavo, and Dustin who showed up when we needed them in time. So it's like you said, that kind of stuff's uncalled for, man. You don't like the character, whatever. There's a whole lot of wrestling characters I don't like. I don't like Baron Corbin's character, but I've seen some stuff he does outside the ring that makes you think that's a cool guy. His character's just annoying. And even then, it's not always their fault. Their character's annoying.
Yeah.
It's how they're booked. Yeah. It's like that's why I'm trying to stop saying I hate Brock Lesnar, because I don't. I hate his booking. Can't stand his booking. But I don't know Brock Lesnar, so I don't hate Brock Lesnar. So
yeah, most people have actually said he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, and my thing is like, he's private, and I was like, well, whatever. Yeah. He's private. Who cares?
Yeah. So the Bella Twins. I also forgot the Bella Twins.
Yeah.
I hate those characters. But good luck to them with their kids.
But see,
they're getting close to that, by the way. They're maybe a few weeks off. So You know
what that reminds me of? It reminds me of that time someone said something bad about Roman Reigns' daughter. And everybody rallied around Roman Reigns. Like, there are people on Twitter who said, I hate Roman Reigns, but I will not let you talk crap about his daughter like that, because that's just uncalled for.
They don't deserve
and I thought that was cool.
Yeah. They definitely don't deserve that. So,
yeah, for sure.
My one warning is kind of twofold here. First of all, this is the quote-unquote anniversary of the start of the Divas Revolution, Women's Evolution, which I will just come out and say, the Women's Evolution wrestling started long before that. So don't let WWE control this story or this narrative that Stephanie McMahon started the Women's Evolution. No, because WWE would have never done it if the hashtag Give Divas a Chance did not take off. They finally listened to fans after years, but I've argued it before. We talked about it when we talked about Evolution, the pay-per-view last year or 2 years ago, I believe. Impact TNA really started the Women's Evolution in American wrestling. So that's where I'll start with. One other thing I do want to say is my condolences to the family and friends of one William Liu, who, for those of us in the Samurai Showdown fighting game community, was known to us as by his gamer tag of CarpetFromAladdin, which I thought was a great gamer tag. But
that's hilarious.
Always one of the nicest guys, always popping in on a Twitch stream. And he was a Rimarudu player. I'm a huge Nakarudu player, obviously. And him and our matches were epic. Every time we would play each other online, it was always so much fun. I have been vocal about my disdain for Mina, one of the Samurai Shodown characters. I wish she was never created. And as soon as they announced her, I said hashtag Nerf Mina, and he joined me right along every time he saw me, hashtag Nerf Mina. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, he contracted pneumonia, had no idea, was in the hospital, and unfortunately he passed away. And with all this going on, I am very proud of the Samurai Shodown community for all of us coming together. I will have a couple links in the description below where you can contribute to a GoFundMe for his funeral expenses. And there's also a shirt fundraiser going on as well.
He was just an overall nice guy. The DMV crew were planning a tournament. They canceled it and just had an open lobby, and people can come and say their words. And everyone had nothing but nice things to say about Carpet. Such a great guy. The community was hit by this so hard, but we're all coming together, especially with what is going on. Even big props to the East London FGC. They had a Samurai Showdown tournament, and all 3 of the top 3 winners donated their money to the GoFundMe account for Carpet. So,
that's cool.
Really do appreciate
really cool.
it. I was really looking forward, if this hadn't happened, I was really looking forward to meeting him at EVO later this month. Well, would have been later this month. I was looking forward to meeting him and everyone else in the community, and unfortunately this happens. 2020 has sucked. Okay, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
It really has. So please, if you can, feel free to donate. Carpet, we all miss you. You're always the nicest. I do appreciate it. And your passion and love for this Samurai Showdown series is something I share with you and will continue to share with you. And we'll play again one day, and I look forward to it. So rest in peace, Carpet. All right. That's my 1 minute warning. That's our 1 minute warnings. Now for the weekend's events. Impact Slammiversary is Saturday, July 8th, 7 p.m. Central Time. There's usually not a pre-show. It's going to be taking place from Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't know if this is pre-taped. I've heard it might be. But it is going to be on Fight TV for $40. That's your pay-per-view cost. And then on Sunday, WWE, the horror show at Extreme Rules and whatever else they decide to name it. Sunday, July 19th at 6 p.m. Central Time. Kickoff probably around 5 o'clock for the WWE Performance Center Orlando on, of course, WWE Network.
I was thinking at this point, let's just throw every extra title to every horror movie. Horror show at Extreme Rules, A New Nightmare, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Friday the 13th on the WrestleCast. Yeah,
Resurrection, whatever.
I know what you did last pay-per-view.
I still know.
Scream, because Baron Corbin's in the main event.
Yeah.
I would, if he were.
The Purge.
If he is, I will.
Yeah. Our Twitter account at @CCG_WrestleCast. If you have a funny name for Extreme Rules or any of the other pay-per-views that we just mentioned, feel free to jump in right there.
Now, that being said, I still what you did last pay-per-view was something is a show I would like to actually promote and produce myself, actually.
If we get Jennifer Love Hewitt back, I'm down.
Oh, always.
You can host.
Always, yes, definitely.
Yeah. I love how everyone agreed. That works.
Yes. Your kids incorporate. I remember her from that.
Oh dear God!
Yes. So, next week we'll be recapping Impact Slammiversary and Extreme Rules from WWE, and I don't know beyond then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say maybe also mentioning Fight for the Fallen, if anything. Significant happens.
Depending how the Cage and Moxley match plays out. I mean, I could honestly see that match going the full time limit, honestly. So
I could too.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes on Wednesday as well. And once again, congrats to Keith Lee. Big talent here on the San Antonio independent scene. Really nice to see him winning the titles. I don't know if he got the picture of Triple H. Probably did.
No, he did.
Oh, he did.
I
haven't seen it yet, obviously. So. But ending, while we're congratulating Keith Lee, I want to finally say congrats to Adam Cole. As a guy coming in to WWE.
Hell of a reign, man.
Hell of a reign, being on the top of NXT for over a year. And I really hope he does not get moved up.
I was literally thinking that too.
That's so sad that's where we're at now.
Look, when Keith won, I was like, "Oh, good Keith! Oh my God, the Undisputed Era is getting called up." Oh God, no! Please,
no.
Jesus,
if you want examples on why he should not get called up, EC3, Asuka,
Cesaro,
Cesaro, Rusev. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, examples why you don't want to get called up to WWE.
And Shinsuke Nakamura, because he was so close.
Yeah, there's another one.
He was
Shinsuke
so
Nakamura.
close.
Yeah.
Can I remind you of a team named The Ascension?
There's a prime example. Yeah. So
Tyler Breeze and Fandango have done so much better in NXT.
Oh my God!
Okay,
their
that's
entrances with everyone's.
Oh my God. Okay. First of all, let me say this: the first time I saw it, I was playing video games or something, and Tina says, "Hey, JC, come over here." I was like, "What the hell's going on?" She was watching in the bedroom. She rewinded it. You got to see this. I'm like, what am I watching? Just watch. Okay, I'm watching it. Here they come on the space entrance. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me! But I could not stop watching. It was so good. It's hilarious.
They are so weird with their gimmick that it works.
Oh my god!
So
Wasn't it? I think they did Top Gun at a Great American Bash. They were teaming with right?
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
they mocked Imperium that one time.
Oh, that one was great too.
That one was hilarious.
Emporium.
But you know the thing with them is just like with Cesaro. It's like everyone in the entire locker room loves them, but for some reason Vince won't do anything.
Yeah,
because they don't kiss his ass enough, you know. So I mean,
but it's like they sell without him really giving them anything to do. None of it was like probably his idea, you know.
Yeah. So that's that. But at least Vince finally did see the light with the mask thing, and thank you, Kevin Owens, for that. As it's been widely reported, Kevin Owens is a big reason why Vince is to the mask and fine. So thank you again for that. So. For us, though, thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone, who has subscribed and continues to watch. All this is going on. We still have wrestling, at least in one form or another, and I'm very thankful for that. I hope we all are. So,
yeah,
enjoy wrestling this weekend. This week, there's a lot of it, and we'll be talking about it again next week. So, from the Countdown City WrestleCast, this is Tommy.
Thank you all.
There's Mike.
We get to each other, guys.
And I'm JC, and as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are
fake. Best one ever.
Nailed it.
So if you want to subscribe to the channel, click right here. And if you want to watch more WrestleCast videos, I got 3 words for you. Click right here.